Hi everyone. We'll be working with NoteFlight.com today for the first technology presentation of the semester. However, I would first like to show you Screencast-O-Matic.com. This is a free website that records your visual and audio output from a desktop or a laptop to create what's called a screencast. And screencasts can be very handy in educational settings. Let's say that you have a student in your secondary general music class who's ill and has been out of your class for more than a week. You can create a screencast by putting together some videos from YouTube, speaking into a desktop or a laptop, and then putting that together onto YouTube through your own YouTube account, or maybe just emailing the file to the student or the student's parents, and then the student can do the work that you specify on the screencast at his or her own leisure at home. So that way when they come back to school, they may not be as far behind as they would be otherwise. Another example for a screencast would be to use it in what's called the flipped classroom. And the flipped classroom is inverting traditional teaching methods, delivering instruction online outside a class, and then moving the homework into the classroom. So what the model does is students watch lectures at home at their own pace. So let's say that a student missed important points in the video. They can rewind the video backwards and then catch that point, or they can watch the video as many times as they wish, versus a lecture, which is basically a one-time only deal. Then later on, students can then communicate with their peers and with teachers via online discussions through social media websites that are educational in nature, such as ning.com, Ning.com. Then students are engaged in the classroom the following day with the help of the instructor who acts as a facilitator. Students are placed in small groups working collaboratively, and the instructor walks around answering questions, asking questions, alleviating any points of confusion. So we can really use screencasts for our benefit in multiple ways in the educational venue. Now, on to NoteFlight, and some of you may already be familiar with NoteFlight. I'm going to log in with my account. And I have to apologize right away. I'm sorry for the Victors being here. I got my master's at the University of Michigan, and I used the Victors for a graduate project and a graduate class. So I apologize. However, I did try to make things right by using the Michigan State fight song as my model here for this presentation. Okay, let's see what we have to date. NoteFlight has really gotten better over the years, and it's pretty intuitive. So you are going to click on the staff, and we're going to finish out the rest of this phrase. So all I'm doing is just clicking off my cursor here on the screen itself. I'm going to go back to this. Here's my palette with dynamics, articulations, note values, sharps, flats, etc. We're going to make a tie, and then we're going to continue onwards. And let's continue onwards. I just moved up with my arrow, and I wonder if I can just type it in. I need that to be a quarter note, and then I'll just move here, and then half note. B flat needs to be a half note. Yes, very good. Now I'm sure all of you recognize that this C was not correct. It needs to be C sharp, so I'm going to add that C sharp there. And we should add, at least one musical phrase or some sort of musicianship concept here. I'm going to start at the beginning. I'm going to add a dynamic. You know, Michigan State is playing Jacksonville State on Friday evening in Spartan Stadium, and let's say I'm a freshman in the Spartan Marching Band. And I'm composing this in my dorm, and I'm really excited to play the fight song in front of 75,000 people. So I'm just going to blast it and just blow the roof off of Spartan Stadium. Even though there isn't any, I'm just going to go wild and crazy in there. Excellent. Now I'm going to save this to make sure I don't lose my work, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you the first part of the fight song. You can add in lyrics, you can add in guitar tabulation. There's a lot you can do, and you can do even more if you subscribe to what's called a Crescendo membership, which is an extra fee. NoteFlight, however, is free, and that's very important to keep in mind, and it's accessed from anywhere that you have internet. Let's start here from measure 8. So you get the idea. And there is a lot you can do with NoteFlight. I'm going to go back here and click on Scores All-Time Faves. And the all-time fave at the moment is Harry Potter. And you can see the notation is very clear, and the sound quality is actually pretty decent. Just taking a minute to load up. And then you go on further, where it starts to get intricate and more interesting. So right now, I just laid out for you how to work with NoteFlight and some other sort of functions of NoteFlight. The most important thing that Dr. Kratis and I are looking for in your technology presentations is how can we apply the app that you're presenting, or the web-based website that you are presenting, or a software program you're presenting into a secondary general music classroom. How can this tool that you're presenting help with music teaching and learning? How can it help you as a teacher with helping to teach concepts to your students? So what I'm going to do right now is give you some ideas as to how NoteFlight can be used in a secondary general setting. First of all, I think the most obvious one is that it's a notation program. So I can notate a song that I have composed either in my head mentally or something on paper that I have handwritten out. I can go into NoteFlight and I can create something like this: multiple staves, multiple instruments. I think more importantly, though, NoteFlight can be a tool for students to use during the composition process itself. Let's say that you have a student who is a budding composer and you have composition as a part of a unit or a unit in itself in your classroom. Well, you can have students go to NoteFlight and they can in real time understand what their composition sounds like in that moment, which is a huge tool for developing composers who are trying to understand sound and form and all these other musical concepts. I'm going to go down to an original song here just to demonstrate the possibilities of what can be used. Now I have here Show Me the Way, which is an original piano solo. And I'm going to get this out of the way. And you see here this YouTube video. You can embed YouTube videos or create your own still or silent YouTube videos to coordinate with your own songs. Now, if I were a budding young composer and if I had this anywhere I had the internet, either school or at home, rather than paying Finale or Sibelius to show me what I'm doing, here NoteFlight gives me that opportunity right away. So I think for young composers and for more mature composers, NoteFlight is a huge benefit to helping students understand what you're composing and what it sounds like in real time. I'm going to go back now to that Michigan State fight song to demonstrate another possibility for the secondary general music classroom. Many of you have used Google Docs, Google Drive, and understand that all of you at one time can go onto a Google Doc and can edit in real time, all at the same time. NoteFlight is the Google Doc equivalent here in music. If I click on sharing, I can have just me be able to edit it, select people, look at it, or have everyone be able to look at it. So everyone is going to access it. Or I can just have selected people access it. And it says here you have to be a premium member. So that's that. However, there's a way to get around that. Now, we can let them view and comment, just view, or view and comment and make changes. This is the way how if we were in a group composition setting, let's say a group of 2 or 3 or 4 making a group composition, we can all go online at the same time and we can edit and make changes as we feel necessary to a composition. So it's almost like a Google Doc, it's just for music. All you need to do is click on this button and then send this, email this link to others, and then they will have instant access. So that is great that they have that possibility to do editing and to do some sort of group composition work. And then finally, one other thing I would like to show you is that you can also synchronize YouTube videos with NoteFlight. And I have here a video tutorial that demonstrates how this video is going to be in sync with the words, lyrics, notes of the NoteFlight file below. And you even see the NoteFlight logo down there.
Once we use it. And there's our embed. It's got the video in it. And it's got the position slider and play button. And the score embeds as usual. But it's synchronized with the video now.
So, you can see that the video moved along as well as the lyrics did with the NoteFlight video. So there's a number of different applications you can use for that. Let's say you're making a screencast or you're having students actually make their own screencast. That can be a very good visual cue for students to follow along with a video. And there's some other ways that you can also embed that into a secondary general format. So the most important thing again for your presentation is how we can apply your chosen app, Web 2.0 tool, software tool into a secondary general music classroom. And I just outlined a number of different ways. So if you have any questions, feel free to see Dr. Kratis or me. And thank you so much for listening.